So tonight, we're looking at this subject. Self-knowledge is the basis of true knowledge. And please stop me at any point, and I'll stop sharing at different parts so that we can actually have a discussion. I don't want it to be just like I'm talking, you guys are listening. Let's have a dialogue and let's have a communication. So self-knowledge is the basis of true knowledge. And so in Stolen Legacy, so here's one of the early versions of Stolen Legacy. And then later on, Professor Manu Ampim put out a version of Stolen Legacy where he added a new introduction to the book. So the initial introduction, when it was released, was put out by Dr. Asa Hilliard, and being a proficient scholar, Professor Manu re-released this book with an updated introduction. So there's that, and this is the scripture that we're using tonight. So this session is called Study of Sacred Scriptures, or SOS. And so it's under the section. Now, I got this from an online version of Stolen Legacy. So, it would be easy to copy and put into this PowerPoint. And so the pages might be different than your version, but just know that it is in chapter 6, the Athenian philosophers. And so we're going to talk the purpose of salvation. And so it says in here, the purpose of philosophy is the salvation of the soul, whereby it feeds upon truth congenial to its divine nature, and thus escapes the wheel of rebirth, and finally attains consummation of unity with God. Purpose of philosophy is the salvation of the soul, whereby it feeds upon the truth congenial to its divine nature, and thus escapes from the wheel of rebirth, and finally attains the consummation of unity with God. And then he has some other sections here. It says, the body is the tomb of the soul, the aspirations of the soul. There is a realm of true reality which is above the senses. To this, the soul aspires. The doctrine of self-knowledge, know thyself. And now, what's highlighted is really what I'm looking at, and probably just that first sentence that's highlighted, where it says, self-knowledge is the basis of true knowledge. Self-knowledge is the basis of true knowledge. The mysteries required as a first step, the mastery of the passions, which made room for the occupation of unlimited powers. Hence, as a second step, the neophyte was required to search within himself for the new powers which had taken possession of him. The Egyptians consequently wrote on their temples, "Man, know thyself." Everybody with me? Okay.
Yeah, we right here.
Are you there? Minister Alicia, hey, how's it going?
Hello.
Hello. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna go back. So self-knowledge is the basis of true knowledge. And then continuing on. So in Stolen Legacy, I forget what section this is contained, but it says every schoolboy believes when he hears or reads the command, know thyself, he is hearing or reading words which were uttered by Socrates. But the truth is that the Egyptian temples carried inscriptions outside on the outside addressed to neophytes, and among them was the injunction, know thyself. Socrates copied these words from the Egyptian temple and was not the author. All mystery temples inside and out carried such inscriptions, just like the weekly bulletins of the modern church. Now, we took that and ran with it. And there is some truth to that statement, but let's just say it is not precise. And that's what we want to deal with this evening. So this inscription is actually on the Temple of Delphi. These are the ruins, Temple of Delphi in Greece. And this is what it says. It says, I warn you, whoever you are, O you who wish to probe the arcane of nature, if you do not find within yourself that which you seek, neither shall you be able to find it outside. If you ignore the excellencies in your own house, how do you intend to find other excellencies? In you is hidden the treasure of treasures. O man, know thyself, and thou shalt know the universe and the gods. Now, firstly, the full phrase is, know thyself, and you shall know the universe and the gods. That's, it's kind of cut off when you just hear know thyself. But what it's saying is seek within. If you don't find it within yourself, you're not going to be able to find it outside. If you ignore what's excellent in your own house, this construction that we've been given so that we can exist on this earthly plane in which we have incarnated in, that we've referred to as our bodies, if you don't find it in your own house, how do you intend to find other excellencies? In you is the treasure of treasures. Have we beat this to death yet? All right. So in the thing called the Facebook, somebody posted this and I saved it. And it says, know thyself, a popular phrase in the conscious community. That's what we used to call ourselves. You know, before we became woke, we were the conscious community. In a popular phrase in the conscious community, made popular from the Greek phrase Nothi seasons, that was inscribed in the court of the temple of Apollo at Delphi. In Kemet, this is expressed as rek-e-m-ib-e. Rek-e-m-ib-e, literally, know I within heart mind, but translated in English as I know myself. I should note that ib has the meaning of heart, but it is used as a metaphor for the inner parts of something, the essence of something, and the mind. To know your heart is to know your essence, or what, or who, and what you are. The phrase was popularized from the Greek temple of Delphi as know thyself, but meant I have knowledge of my essence. For context around its meaning, see chapter 26 of the Per Em Hu, or the Book of the Dead, where the soul adores its own soul and hold their heart in their hands, speaking about the heart and knowing themselves, etc. So I'm gonna pause there. Is that a revelation? Anybody? Am I?
Haven't we related to that as translated as know what's in your heart?
Yeah, we've done that. Yep, yep. Know what is it? You know, there's a lot of different ways that it's worded, but it's always, you know, knowing what is in your heart. You know, in some form or another, it's always put in that context. Know I what is in my heart, or something like that. I've seen it, you know, written all those different ways. So,
and then I'm just matching it up with what you shared here a little bit earlier. I haven't seen this before. And thou shalt know the universe and the gods.
yes.
And if you're saying that, it's about knowing what's in you. The Most High has entrusted you with its own essence, and that's not to be taken lightly.
No, it's not. No, it's not. But you know, we have been indoctrinated that we're born in the original sin, and
Yeah,
you know, and you have all this stuff that you have to kind of shake off.
yeah,
You know, I don't know if you remember this, Minister, but when Queen Mother Mary Moore came and spoke with us, well, this is when we were at the Galindo Street location, and she said we've got to be denegroized. You know, and that's we've really, and along with that is that whole doctrine that we're born in the original sin. You know, we're wretched creatures. Do you know that that song, Amazing Grace?
Yeah.
Amazing Grace was written by a slave ship captain.
Oh wait, yep.
Who hearing the moaning chants below of, that's why that song sounds familiar to us, but he took it and wrote words, and he's talking about himself, you know, that saved a wretch like me, a person that could cause this suffering. You didn't allow the ship to capsize. You know, and so we have that in our, you know, we're born in the original sin. I'm only human. All those things.
Yeah.
But the ancient theology and cosmology and teachings said no. Within yourself, if you really knew what was going on, you would know. You would know the universe.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's just like in the Bible itself, in Genesis, where it talks about we're made in the image and likeness of the Creator, and somewhere along the way, folks got to twisting things around, and we become, you know, wretches. Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, that we got to be denegroized. Even you know, for me in the New Testament, where Jesus is supposedly saying to folks, you gather, where 2 or 3 of you gather in my name, that what you do on earth is bound in heaven, and what you set loose on earth is set loose in heaven. Well, I haven't witnessed any church anywhere where people will spend time working with that and what it has to say. Well, as well as that place, I don't know exactly where in the New Testament it talks about what's going on, but Jesus is telling the folks, you know, yeah, I'm going to be with the Father, and what I have done, you can do, and even greater. Well, you know, we haven't had a lot of, in my experience, haven't had a lot of dealing with that. And what is that really saying? What does it really mean? So yeah, we've got to get to know the universe and know the God, and know that energy, that spirit, that reality within ourselves.
Yeah, that's it's interesting. Thank you.
I think you're saying the same thing.
that the divine is in us,
Yeah.
but I don't think that they really recognize it as such.
Yeah.
They're always looking outside of themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Put it all in the hands of Jesus.
yeah, we're always looking for someone to come along and save us. And really we are our own saviors, because we have a spark of the divine in us. The root of us is divine. So I'm gonna keep going. Any other comments? Go ahead, Sebastian.
So if we allow the indoctrinated process that comes from outside to calcify that which is inside, then we are where we are. I mean, that's if we would pay more attention just to knowing thyself, knowing that heart.
Yeah.
Because when you know everything about you, then you will know everything about everything.
Yes.
And I think a lot of religions say that. I mean, the whole idea of meditation is going within. So I think
yes.
I think Christianity says that. The Buddhists believe in meditating and going within, and so I think they're saying the same thing, but just in a different way.
Yeah,
Yes.
I agree. I just thought of something. Let me verify that. I wanna just make sure that
And just really quick,
I.
one of the other things that is true for us is the hardest thing to do is change.
Yes.
And to change from, we are wretches and born in sin and all this kind of stuff. That song, I was never able to say a wretch like me. And I was like, my parents weren't wretches. You can't tell me that. That's just doesn't work for me. But to tear down all that we've been told, and with Christianity, if it's all outside of you, everything has to come through this Jesus Christ person. But again, like Minister Michaelisi said, if we did the Bible verbatim, it says, and what I have done, you can do also, and even greater. But believing that, and tuning that, and really, really believing that is where it all comes from.
Yes.
You have to go there.
Yes.
Deep.
Yep, we have to. Now there was a lady here in Sacramento, and her name was Mother Spraggins, and she had all these phrases that we repeat. She's passed on now, but we repeat her phrases. Bobby and Alicia will remember. Maybe Sebastian would too. She would say, we'd asked her how's she doing, and she said, "I'm working on my own black self." That was one of her, like I'm tucking it, and then she would continue, "I'm tucking in the corners of my life." Yeah. And then she was full of all these phrases, and then she would say, like, "We all need a healing." All right, I can't find what I was looking for. Perhaps I will think of it and send it to you all later, but let's continue on here, unless there's some other things that you'd like to mention or share. Let's keep on here. So we left off here. And so yeah, we left off here, and now we're going to here we're going to go and talk about the ib, or the heart. In Stolen Legacies, he says ab, ab, but most translations has it ib, ib, and this is how they would write in Medu Neter, the heart. And it says the heart is an ethereal organ of the conscious, symbolized by a vase containing the sacred. To follow the heart is to respect one's spiritual desire and to lead an existence that is in accordance with it. Unfortunately, it is frequently translated as, I do what I like, have fun, which is a misinterpretation. So, you know, the Isley Brothers had a song about it. It's your thing, do what you want to do. So this is like my favorite book for Ptahhotep. Now, Dr. Asa Hilliard has a version, and there are many versions of Ptahhotep. You can go on the internet right now and type in Ptahhotep, and there are a lot of versions, you know, PDF versions that you can get. But this is one of my favorite versions. It's by this guy named Christian Jaco, Wisdom of Ptahhotep. And the reason why I like it is because it has the Medu Neter in it. You know, so when it says follow your heart, see it has some legs walking, follow your heart. So it says follow your heart during the time of your existence. Follow your ka, here's the ka, the upright hands, like when people kick a field goal, and as my Jamaican friends would say, Yankee football, they put up their hands. That's in ancient times, that was a sign of the ka. So it's follow your heart during the time of your existence. Follow your ka during the time of your existence. Do not commit excesses regarding what has been prescribed. Do not shorten the time to follow your heart. To squander one's moment of action of the heart is an abomination to the ka. Do not neglect your daily attention to the spirit in excessive manner to do house chores. Whatever happens, follow your heart. Events will not benefit the neglect. So in that book, it has this Medu Neter version, and then it has just a straight out English translation. So
you know what that calls to mind?
What's that?
In the Usia.
Yes. Yeah.
Do not waste your time by following your heart.
Yeah.
So you cannot be wasting your time if you are truly following your heart.
That's true. So I've really hesitated to broach that with Dr. Karenga, but one day I'm gonna have enough courage. I'm gonna call him and say, "Hey, man, what about this?" All right, and I'm sure he'll get me straight. So here, follow your heart. Look, I like this symbol. Here's Ma'at, you know, and it's bowing down. It's got authority. It's got life. It's got stability. So this was symbol is authority, and of course you know the Ankh is life, and this Jed pillar is stability. And here, when you see like a single ostrich feather, when it's on a man, it's the Neter shoe, or representing the force of air. But when it's on a feminine aspect, it's Ma'at. And then this is just it rewritten again. Now, Dr. Obinga, that's a nice picture of him. This book is a little short book. I mean, there's not 200 pages in this. There's maybe like 150 or maybe like 120 pages. It's Ancient Egypt and Black Africa, a student's handbook for the study of ancient Egyptian philosophy, linguistics, and gender relations. And in that book, so Dr. Obinga came to Sacramento. This was years ago when he was a visiting professor at San Francisco State. And there was a sister, and some of you in Oakland, I would think maybe Ngina would remember her name. She would drive him. I think she worked at Castlemont High School. She's passed on now.
Sister Havisa.
Havisa.
Yes.
Sister Havisa would bring Dr. Obinga to Sacramento 6 weeks straight, Friday and Saturday. And he would teach us Medu Neter. And one night, you know, he said this, it was just so startling to me. He said that philosophy is not a Greek word.
Yes.
I was like, were you there that night?
Yes.
Were you there?
Yes.
Whoa. And then he broke it down. He says so when you do an etymology on Philo, it can't be explained in any Indo-European language. In other words, Philos cannot be explained in Greek and is not of Greek origin. Whoa! You know, and then he says the compound word philosophy does not have an etymology, neither in Indo-European nor Greek. This is obvious in light of the etymological science. I was floored. That is still resounding in my head to this day. You know, because people would clown us for saying, you know, the Greeks learned philosophy from the Egyptians, and whoa, what if I had what if we had been armed with the knowledge,
right,
that philosophy is not even a Greek word? Well, why is that important? So then he breaks down, okay, the other part, Sophie, you know, that's supposed to mean knowledge, Sophos, to learn. But he's saying that the Greek PH is the African SB. So what do you call our teachers are called Sabo, Sabi, Dr. Sabi.
Dr. Sabi.
Heard of him?
Yes.
So he breaks all that down. I thought I needed to include that. And you know, he shows us where it is, and he breaks it down. This is see this 3 here, SB, and it's like a 3, but that's really like an A. I don't know why they write it that way. And so even in Coptic, they say Sabi, means wise, intelligent. And then he goes on, he says, taking into account all that precedes, Egypt, the cradle of medicine, of research and the knowledge of things, of wisdom, of mathematics, it's not so incredible that the Greek word sophos, whose origin is neither in Greek, in Indo-European or Greek, I think I cut that off, but you know, it's not such a stretch to say that it's African. Let's get back to this. Rek-e m-ib-e. This is how you would write it in Medu Neter. I know what is in my heart. I know what is in my heart. Now, from my ubiquitous clandestine informant, I have a friend that lives in Kemet, and he doesn't necessarily want to be identified. But a lot of times I'll send him, if I have a question, I'll write to him. I'll say, hey, man, what about this? Now, this guy is very learned, can go to any site. I asked him, I said, do you meditate? He said, yeah, I know 80 different forms of meditation. So I asked him about this, and he wrote back, he said, yes, it was written in the Old Kingdom tombs and some later ones. Give me a few days, and I hope I can find it. And then a few days passed, and he said, the literal translation means I know what is in my heart, but Ib means also self, mind, awareness, and consciousness. And then he wrote it. He wrote it out. You know, so this, when you see something like this, all these different consonants and stuff all run together, this is called a, so there's a transliteration. When you take the glyphs and then you give them English letters, that's called a transliteration. And then the next part that comes after that is the translation. So he, I'm not going to go into this. I'm just lucky to just do this first. Rek E.M. Ibi. He says, I know what is in my heart. I have power in my heart. I have power in my hands. I have power in my feet. I have power to do what my Ka desires. Egyptian Book of the Dead, Per M. Heru. So that's what it means. I have power. I know what is in my heart. I have power in my heart. I have power in my hands. I have power in my feet. I have the power to do what my Ka desires. This is how we should educate ourselves and our children and those to come. Instead of teaching them that they were born in the original sin, and they are wretched creatures, we should teach them. I know what is in my heart. I have power in my heart. I have power in my hands. I have power in my feet. I have the power to do what my Ka desires. Not just anything, but what my Ka wants.
How does Ka relate to spirit?
So there's in Stolen Legacy, there's like 9 parts of the soul. So the Ka, let's pause for a minute. That's a good question. Let me go. See, do I still have it out? Yeah. So let's see if I can find it. It's in the 9 parts. Oh, here they are, right here. Okay. Can everybody see that? Do I need to make it bigger?
Yes.
All right, let's see now. All right. So these, my friends, in Stolen Legacy, these are the 9 parts of the soul. So the Ka, which is an abstract personality of man to whom it belongs, possessing the form and attributes of a man, the power of locomotion, omnipresence, and the ability to receive nourishment like a man. The Khat, the concrete personality, the physical body, which is mortal. The Ba, i.e., the heart, so which dwells in the Ka and sometimes alongside. So, you know, rather than go into all of this, these are different aspects of your being. Even your name is important. The Ren, the name or the essential attributes for the preservation of a being. The Egyptians believed that in the absence of a name, an individual ceased to exist. And I just want to add this. This is just my little observation. I don't like when people clown people now. You know, they use this word Karen. You know, like it's bad. So to me, it's bringing together the Ka and the Ren. To me, when you say Karen, it's saying soul name. All right. So, you know, then he goes on and he talks about what the soul has the additional. These are the attributes that your soul has. Omnipresence, metamorphosis, locomotion, nutritive, mortal in the case of the Khat, immortality, rationality, spirituality, morality, ethereal, shadowy. I probably went overboard on that, but did that answer your question? Did answer your question, brother?
Yes, thank you.
All right. Okay, we got about 10 minutes. Should we continue? Are there any questions before we move on? Bobby, you usually ask a question during these
Here
things.
I come. Here I come. Yeah. I have you on my big screen, so I'm sitting back here, so I have to run up to my computer. Yeah. Shadowy. That last one I haven't heard of before.
Yeah. I'm not saying that I completely understand it.
Yeah.
But yeah, shadowy. Yeah.
That doesn't sound good. I mean, am I looking at it wrong or?
You know,
that's kind of shady. You know, I would say that's shady.
I think in the Western sense, yes, but you know, everybody has a shadow, right?
Yeah.
Everybody has a shadow, you know.
I didn't think about it like that. Okay.
Yeah, everybody has a shadow. Let me move on. I'm gonna try to get through this. So I think we end it there.
So real quick, Minister. So stripping us of our name, do you think that they consciously knew and understood that we would not continue to exist or be? Was that part of their plan?
You know what? A lot of those people were Masons, and they studied a lot of this, and a lot of this information came from Masonic knowledge. That I'm talking about the information that's in Stolen Legacy. So
right.
So I don't know for sure, but it certainly is quite possible. That would certainly follow. You know, that would certainly follow, because maybe it would be harder to make you a slave if they were calling you Kwame than Charlie or Willie.
Yes, in Roots, that was the scene with them breaking Kunta.
Yeah, that was a very powerful scene, and you know, that's why I ended up changing my name. I always knew that I didn't know what it was going to be, but I always knew I was going to change my name. And at first, my family, you know, did not like that, but over time they got used to it. I wouldn't require, you know, like my grandmother or somebody, you know, to do it. They knew I had a different name that, you know, it was just hard for them to say. but people under them, I require that they use that. And so fast forward years later, I've changed my name. It's been like 30 years. My father goes to one of Kaba's soccer games, and they're calling Al-Kabalan across the
Oh, wow.
the speaker, and they're not pronouncing it right, and my father's upset.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Reverse indoctrination.
Yes, indeed. So, hey, check this. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
I think, with the degree to which, the smaller degree to which the Greeks, the Romans, they understood what they were gathering from Kemet, gathering from African spirituality and knowledge. They didn't want our people to continue relating to that, and so they made every effort they could to take it away from them, take their names away, to give them some other name, to just destroy and disrupt their consciousness that could lead them to understand that the essence of the divine is within us. And we have to do all we can every day we can to bring knowledge and action based on that reality. So when the Greeks, Romans, and others got any measure of knowledge, of that understanding, then we got to take this away from New Africans. Don't let them be thinking this way. Then they'll be acting in a different way.
Well, that was one of the things. Thank you, Minister. That was one of the things. There's a book. It's called Caesar's Messiah. Have you ever heard that book?
No.
Caesar's Messiah by Atwell. And what that book says is that when Romans were when they were conquering that area that we now call Palestine and Israel, the Jews would not allow. See, the Romans would let you worship any way you want. They just wanted one of their gods in your temple.
Mm.
And the Jews wouldn't allow that, because they only, they had this one God. And they were expecting a person that was called a teacher of righteousness. That's who they were expecting. But the Romans took over their scriptures, co-opted one of their historians, one of their main historians. His name was Josephus. Pick up on this, Michael. Josephus, and then he became Flavius Josephus. That that book, it requires a whole, like, maybe couple of hours. You can go and you can go on YouTube and just type in Caesar's Messiah, or the guy who wrote it, his name is Joseph Atwell. Essentially, what they say is that the Flavian Caesars changed the book, and that's what people are really dealing with today. But I brought it up because, yeah, that name. So his name was Josephus, but then when he started, when he got co-opted by the Romans, he became Flavius Josephus. All right. Hey, look, we only got about 4 minutes. You guys want to stop here?
Yeah,
I mean, I've put out a lot.
This is
it's a lot to think about. Go ahead.
Imhotep, on that last book, is it How to Know God?
Yes.
Yes. I'm retired. I'm gonna finally get to it, because you've been talking about reading that book for years.
Oh, yeah.
How important it is.
Mm-hmm.
Is it an easy book? I mean, if I sit now, I can comprehend it pretty well.
Bobby, so what this book is, so this title of this book is called How to Know God, but really what it's about is the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. So you could, just like Ptahhotep, you could type in the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, and there are a lot of versions. But the reason why I like this book is because of this. So this is just to give an example, and this is what I wanted to talk about. Maybe we can kind of round it up. You know, maybe I can round it up in the next few minutes. So there's 4 different chapters, and the chapter 3 is called the powers. And so what's in bold is the actual sutras, you know, what is being said. And then this other part here is a commentary. Let me go back. So this is translated with a commentary by this Swami Prabhavananda. Now that word Ananda, you know, you'll see a lot of Yogananda, Muktananda, all the Ananda means bliss, and I don't know what this word here, but his name anyway. This Swami, that's a person. That title is a person that just deals with the self. And this guy Christopher Isherwood. This is why I like it, because I like the commentary in between the sutras. And so here it says concentration may also be attained by fixing the mind upon the inner light, which is beyond sorrow. And then this is what the commentary says. The ancient yogis believed that there was an actual center of spiritual consciousness called the lotus of the heart, situated between the abdomen and the thorax, which could be revealed in deep meditation. They claimed that it had the form of a lotus and that it shone with an inner light. It was said to be beyond sorrow, and those who saw it were filled with an extraordinary sense of peace and joy. You know, so that's why I like this commentary. And then, okay, he says this is connected to what we just were dealing with the Kemetic. And it says, within the city of Brahma, which is the body, Brahma. So there's Shiva, Vishnu, Brahma. Brahma's the creator. Shiva is the resolver. Sometimes it's referred to as the destroyer. And Vishnu is the preserver. So it's 3 different aspects of God. So it says, within the city of Brahma, which is the body, there is the heart. And within the heart, there is this little house. This little house has the shape of a heart, and within it dwells that which should be sought after, inquired about, and realized. What then is that which dwells within this little house, this lotus of the heart? What is it that must be sought after, inquired about, and realized? Even so large as the universe outside is the universe within the lotus of the heart. The universe within the lotus of the heart. Let me read that again. Even so large as the universe outside is the universe within the lotus of the heart. Within it are heaven and earth, the sun, the moon, the lightning, all the stars. Whatever is in the macrocosm is in this microcosm. All things that exist, all beings, all desires are in the city of Brahman. What then becomes of them when old age approaches and the body dissolves in death? Though old age comes to the body, the lotus of the heart does not grow old. It does not die with the death of the body. The lotus of the heart, where Brahma resides in all his glory, that, not the body, is the true Brahma. Brahma dwells within, is untouched by deeds, ageless, deathless, free from grief, free from hunger, free from thirst. His desires are right desires, and his desires are fulfilled. And then there's this other book, it's called the Upanishads, and this one, the Mundaka Upanishad, it says, within the lotus of the heart he dwells, where the nerves meet like the spokes of a wheel. Meditate on him as Om, and you may easily cross the darkness. In the effulgent, what's that word effulgent mean? I had to look it up. But anybody know what that word means? Effulgent.
Slippy, you mentioned it just the other night. Oh,
Effulgent, it means a bright light.
bright light.
That's you know, okay, that's not the exact precise dictionary definition, but that's what I mean. In the effulgent of the lotus of the heart dwells Brahma, passionless, indivisible. He is pure. He is the light of all lights. The knowers of Brahma attain him. So, sisters and brothers, we need to get our heart and brain in sync. Isn't this a beautiful picture?
Yes.
All right. So tomorrow, if you'd like to join us, tomorrow we'll be with Sister Saraswati at 5:30 in the morning. And we just go a half hour. You know, we have a devotional reading. We discuss that devotion. We do a prayer. And then we have a closing prayer. And so you have to go to this Zoom ID, and I can put this in the chat. So that's tomorrow. 8:30 if you're on the East Coast, 5:30 Pacific time. And Ashe, 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 oh.
Ashe.
All right. So any question? Oh, it's only 7:04. We didn't go that far over. I really want this to not, you know, go longer than an hour, you know, just people's time and stuff. So any questions? Any comments before?
No, I just want to say thank you, Imhotep, for the lessons this evening, the teachings this evening. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Very honored to do it. I'm picking up from Reverend Robertson. Yes, you guys don't remember him, but
Oh, I remember Reverend Robinson.
Yeah.
Imhotep, one thing
Yes.
with the young kids today, I don't think they have the problem like when you guys change your name. They really because my grandkids have no problem. They may have problem with people pronouncing the last name, but they recognize their name. And all three of my grandkids have Kepa in their name. So they really never had a problem.
Yeah, you know what? Ra never had a problem. Ra,
Yeah.
you know, because okay, our oldest son, his name is Rahotep Anu. And you know, we put Anu because we thought, oh, people are going to have a hard time with saying Rahotep. You know, we could just envision it. And so, you know, for the first 4 or 5 years of his life, we just called him Anu. And then when he graduated from kindergarten, he just all of a sudden announced, my name is Rahotep now. And actually, Alicia, you might mention this, the first person to call Ra was Phyllis Purvis. You know, we brought him home, we invited people over, and I remember Phyllis saying, hi, Ra. You know, and so yeah, and actually they liked the name Al-Kabalon because you know, A comes first in the alphabet, and they were ahead. That was something I didn't even think about.
Right.
That's the same way with my grandkids. They last name A, so they always first.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
You mentioned
it's heartbreaking that more of our children and their families, their parents don't have that consciousness that we need some names that have some meaning, and discuss with the children and the parents what these names mean, and we do all we can and every way we can to manifest that, and we see that the examples that you're talking about, and I know a few examples, but there's just so many of our children and their families that just don't have that consciousness, and we have work to do.
Yeah, okay. And then Alicia's children, she said yes names with meaning are highly important. All of her kids, and we have like nicknames for them, but she's really put some strong meanings in her children's names. Yeah, names are powerful, and just like the second principle of Nguza Saba, Kujichagulia, define, name, create, and speak for ourselves.
Yes,
These are all these aren't just slogans. These are just fundamental building blocks for building a nation, family, community, nation, and race.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. Will somebody pray us out? Minister Makalisi prayed us in. Will somebody give us a closing prayer, and then we'll say Kwaheri or Tutananana. Doesn't have to be a minister. Be anyone in this group. Oh, Heavenly Father, Divine Mother, Divine Indweller of every heart and mind, we thank you for these that have joined us this evening. We hope that the information touched their hearts, minds, and spirits. We ask, dear God, that you would bless us all and could continue to keep us along the path of Mat, along the path of Moja, Kujichagulia, Ujima, Ujamaa, Nia, Kuumba, Imani. Lead us from the unreal to the real. Lead us from darkness to light, and lead us from mortality to immortality. Bless all beings in the family, community, nation, and race. Our prayer. Amen. Ashe. Right. Well, thank you all for coming. See you next time. I don't know when the next first or second. Let's see.
The 28th.
So that's like isn't that like the 5th?
This month have 5 Thursday.
Yeah. So I guess the next time really we would be meeting would be on the 6th. Excuse me, the 7th. I'm sorry.
7th, yes.
7th. Oh, before I let you go, I talked to, well, he sent a text. Kaba Kamene is going to be joining us this Wednesday for Black Knowledge Matters. And because I asked him a couple of weeks ago, hey, would you like to come on the 21st? And then he, it took a while for him to respond back, but he responded last night, actually yesterday morning. Yeah, nice. And he said, yeah, that would be a good time for me to speak. He said February 21st is the day that Malcolm was assassinated.
Mm.
So maybe we'll ask him to reflect on that. Anyway,
I'm glad you remember that. That's a biggie. That's a biggie. So you'll be in the 6 o'clock class on Wednesday.
Actually, it's 5, Bobby. It's
5 o'clock. Okay, yeah, 5. I'm sorry.
5
o'clock. Yeah.
Yeah. So come join us.
what's the subject? Or
You know, we didn't give him a subject, but you know, probably to talk about, you know, he can talk about anything.
right, yeah.
But maybe, you know, maybe that
Is it going to be recorded? Because I'll be out of town.
yeah, it'll be.
It will be okay.
You know what? You can I mean, you may be traveling, but you could look at it on your computer, you can look at it on your phone, you know.
Yeah.
Think about it. All right, you don't have to be at home in order to do it. All right. Well, life, prosperity, and health, everyone. Live up.
Okay. All righty. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Uncle Johnson.